Hello everyone, I'd like to walk you through one of my commander decks today. Today we are looking at Greensleeves. Greensleeves Maro Sorcerer is a 3 and 2 green elemental legendary creature with protection from planeswalkers and wizards. Greensleeves Maro Sorcerer's power and toughness are equal to the number of lands you control. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, create 3/3 green badger creature token. So what we want to do with this deck is play as many lands as we can, cheat in lands. We want to double those triggers in ways, and just create a bunch of value with mana and bring out big creatures. So some of the artifacts here we have to help us. We got 8 artifacts, I believe. We got Extraplanar Lens. Whenever Extraplanar Lens enters the battlefield, you may exile a target land you control. Whenever a land with the same name as the exiled land is tapped for mana, its controller adds 1 mana of any type that land produced. So this right here will help us double our lands, pretty much. We exile a forest with it, we get double the mana. Gurpur Ori will just let everyone play additional lands on their turn, but with us, it's going to help us more. We're a landfall deck, it's going to just be way helpful. Chamil is going to let us discover 5 and make our spells not be counterable. So, cheats in big things, hopefully. Or even small things that can be helpful. Emerald Medallion, make our spells 1 less. Cage Sun, another thing to double our mana pretty much. You also just boost our creature, give them +1/+1. Sword of the Animus is another thing that can boost our commander and also get us more lands onto the battlefield to activate more of those landfall triggers. And then, of course, Soul Ring just says fast mana. Then we got our ramp spells and most of our sorceries. So Cultivate, we got Migration Path, we got Rampant Growth, got Traverse the Outlands, which with our commander can pretty much just double the amount of lands we control, because our commander will always be equal to the amount of lands we control. So this one's going to grab us that many lands and pretty much give us double the amount of lands we have and give us crazy amount of landfall triggers. Lay of the Land, Winding Way, and Return of the Road, or Road of Return, which this can get us around commander attacks and also return stuff from our graveyard to our hand. We got Green Sun Zenith, gets us a really big creature or anything else we might need in the creatures. Shamanic Revelation, which can draw us a bunch of cards and gain us a lot of life. And Nature's Lore. In instants, we got 3 instants. We got Harrow, which will sacrifice a land and grab us 2 more lands, more landfall triggers. Return the Wild Speaker, which will draw us a bunch of cards or make our creatures bigger. And Court of Calling, which can grab us another big creature, put it straight onto the battlefield. That's the main thing we want, is we want to put stuff straight onto the battlefield. We got 1 Planeswalker, we got Freyalise, just to make some mana dorks, get some enchantment artifact removal, and can also draw us a bunch of cards. Enchantments, we got about 10 enchantments. We got Classification, get a commander really big or any other creature we need really big. We got Prismatic Undercurrents, even though it's in a monocolored deck, it also lets us get additional land drops and also grabs us at least 1 land. Overgrowth can make one of our lands tap for 3 mana alone, which is just really good. Unnatural Growth, at the beginning of each combat, double the power and toughness of each creature you control until end turn. That's an amazing card. It's basically Zapandrel on an enchantment, and it's just really good to run. Parallel Lives can double the amount of badgers we're creating with Greensleeves. Defense of the Heart is a enchantment that at the beginning of our upkeep, if an opponent controls 3 or more creatures, we sacrifice it, search our library for up to 2 creature cards and put those cards into play and then shuffle our library afterwards. I use this as kind of like a combo piece in this deck. I'll show you that later. Elemental Bond. Whenever a creature with power 3 or greater enters the battlefield under control, we'll draw a card. So every time we play a land and create a badger with our commander, we'll draw a card. So basically, we play land, draw a card, play land, draw a card. we want to get as many extra land drops so we can just keep drawing cards and playing lands. We have Crystalline Armor that gives a +1/+1 for each land we control and gives it trample, so can be a good way to make our commander more Voltron-y and get a lot of commander damage through. We got Garruk's Uprising. Another thing like Elemental Bond, just draws us a bunch of cards. Virtue of Strength. This one is a mana tripler, so it can really help us get crazy amounts of mana, and we can also use it to grab a creature or a land from our graveyard. We got about 30 creatures. Our first creature is 6. Whenever he attacks, we mill 3 cards and may put a land from among them into our hand. As long as it's our turn, non-land permanent cards in your graveyard have retrace, which is really nice. We have Tifa, doubles her power whenever a land enters. Apex Devastator, Cascade, so a lot of cascading, get our big creatures out. This is part of that combo I was telling you about with Defense of the Heart, Lumra, Bellow of Woods. Set that aside, I'll show you the other piece of it. Springbloom Druid, grabs us a land, or 2 lands. Vorinclex, doubles our mana, shuts off our opponent's mana. Destiny Spinner, and our way to get our creatures and enchantments uncounterable. Scoot Swarm, make crazy amount of insects. Just keep playing lands, create a bunch of insects. Wayward Swordtooth. Additional lands. It's a 5/5 for 3 mana. Super good. Traveling Chocobo. We can play lands off the top of our library. Doubles our landfall triggers. Additional land drop. Frenzied Baloth. Makes our spells not be counterable and our combat damage not prevented. Also has Trample and Haste for 2 mana. Badgermole Cub, we can turn a land into a mana dork and make it tap for additional green. Elvish Spirit God, fast mana, we can exile it from our hand to get a green. Or in Frostfang, can give all of our creatures Death Touch, and whenever a creature we control deals combat damage to player, in our draw engine basically. Karametra's Acolyte, add a amount of green equal to our devotion green, so on our mana dork, Multani, gets +1/+1 for each land we control and each land in our graveyard, which is just really nice. Kogla, big creature, destroys artifacts and enchantments whenever it attacks, which is very nice, and when it enters it can get rid of a creature if we need it to. Avenger of Zendikar, creates us a bunch of plants and then puts a bunch of +1/+1 counters on them whenever we play lands. Ancient Green Warden, we can play lands from our graveyard and doubles our lands entering the battlefield again. Sakura Tribeller, we can sacrifice them and grab a basic. Stonehoof Chieftain makes all of our creatures whenever they attack trample indestructible, so it's good protection for our creatures. This is the other part of that combo with Lumra, Famished Worldsire. So, with Famished Worldsire and Lumra, what we want to do when we grab them with Defense of the Heart, we can stack how their enter the battlefield triggers go. So, what we want to do is we want to let Famished Worldsire's trigger happens first. So we devour all but 1 land so our commander doesn't die. And then he gets 3 times that amount of counters. So say we have 15 lands, he'll get 30 counters. If we or 16 lands and we sacrifice 15, he gets 30 counters. Then we look at the top 30 cards of our library and put all the lands from among them onto the battlefield tapped. So we have a Ward 3 30/30 at that point. And then Lumra enters and we mill 4 cards and then return all those lands back to the battlefield. So we're getting like 60 landfall triggers. Especially if we have those landfall trigger doublers, it just goes crazy. We got Mossborn Hydra. Just more landfall stuff. Doubles his +1/+1 counters and he has trample. He gets huge fast. Colonian Twin Grove. Creates a copy of himself pretty much when he enters. And just they're as big as the amount of lands you control, which is really nice. Additional landfall, we can play lands from the top of our library. Rampaging Broodon gets huge. Formidable Speaker can be another good creature tutor for us. I Still Explore lets us play lands from our graveyard. Mills them, filters our deck a little more, and lets us play additional lands. Enrollment Excavator lets us play lands from our graveyard. Then for lands, we have 2 non-basics and 36 basics. So the 2 non-basics are Avindo, Walking Haven. So pretty much you get 12 station counters on it, it becomes a Guy's Cradle. And then Yavimaya, Cradle of Growth, turns all of our lands into force. So the Yavimaya is in here basically just so, what's that one card? Nature's Lore can go grab us the Avindo if we don't have it yet, because it will turn it into a force. And the rest of these are just all basic force. So yeah, that's Greensleeves. Very fun landfall commander. It's my favorite mono green commander. I think it's the most unique there is. It's the only creature to create badger tokens. So I think that's really neat. And if you like this video, subscribe for more.